And Miss, okay, ready. Today our speaker is
Lucia Steeg.
The name of my business is
The Meerkat Studios.
The number of years I've been in business is
Not even one.
Ooh. Oh, I'm just going to go gallery. Ooh, there we go. The location of your business is
Surrey, British Columbia, Canada.
Other organizations you belong to are
The Surrey Arts Council, the Federation of Canadian Artists, VTEAM, All Stars, and I think the Crafters Council of British Columbia.
And I'll add, she sits as a volunteer for the art coordinator for the Fort Langley Jazz and Arts Festival. Your family includes?
Currently just myself, my husband, 3 dogs and a cat. My daughter has just immigrated to Ireland. So in some point in the future, we'll see them, I'm sure.
Okay, your activities and hobbies are?
Art, admin for the business. More art.
Something you'd love to do is?
Travel.
And the root of your success is?
Resilience.
And for our visitors today, this is the opportunity, once a rotation of all our members, that our members get to have the center stage for 10 minutes. We encourage them to do about an 8.5-minute presentation, so we have time for questions and answers. Please take it away, Lucia.
Okay, so this is going to be something a little different, but very applicable to what we all do, and you'll see why. This was me in a previous life on a different continent. This was my jam. This is what I did. But it got me thinking as I'm moving around and moving through my business and doing things, it's exactly what we all do. It's just we don't think about it, or we don't formalize it in such a way. So you can all see the messy meerkat, right? Hopefully. Okay, so today's talk is going to be on a very brief touch on product management. Okay, so what is it? What is a product lifecycle? What is it used for? And how does it apply to me and you in your business? Okay, so the very boring definition of product management, where we all fall asleep in our coffee, is it's the role and function within an organization that is responsible for a product's overall success. Product managers work with groups inside and outside of the company to build and execute a plan to make sure the product best meets its financial and strategic goals. Now start thinking about you and what you do in a business. And what you do. Sometimes you are the product. Someone like Jeanette would be both the product and the service all rolled in one. Okay, so why is product management different from product marketing? So in product management, you develop the product. You do the research, you develop the product. Product marketing is conveying the value of that product to a wider audience. And that is where it's different. So product management, you start looking, you conceive, you plan, you develop, you qualify, you launch, you maximize, and then at the end of the life cycle, you take it away. Think about when you introduce a new course, or when you introduce a new, a new service, Linda, like you've just done. America's Supermom, great at product management without even realizing that you are actually doing the whole product management. What works, what doesn't work in your business. These are the kind of things. Every time you write a book, you start to want to write a book. Every time you do, it's product management. Okay, so what is the product life cycle? More boring definitions. It refers to the length of time a product is introduced to consumers in the market before it's removed and until it's removed from the shelves. So it goes through 4 stages. You introduce it, you grow it, it matures, and then it starts declining. And through that each phase, there's different strategies of how you're going to deal with it in your business. I mean, you might decide to still offer a course in a decline phase, just at a higher price. So you're not going to remove it, but your profitability is going to be more because it costs more to keep that product, going instead of versus taking it out of the pipeline. I'll explain a little bit about how this works in my art. Okay, so who uses it and why? Management and marketing. You guys are the management and marketing of your own businesses. You are everything. You're the CEO. You are the product manager. You are everything in your own businesses. So what is it? It's the process of strategizing ways to continually support and maintain a product. Why do we do it? It's that decision making around when it's appropriate to increase your advertising. So your Instagram marketing, your LinkedIn marketing, your Facebook marketing, all of that. Reduce prices, expand to new markets, or redesign your packaging. And when packaging in a service-based business is very much a course that you're doing, you tweak it, you redesign it, you add some things, and you relaunch that back to your market. And you do this right throughout the product, throughout the life cycle of the product. And it's across all lines and departments in everything that you do. Okay, so how does it look? What does it look like? What is the technical of a product life cycle? You have an idea. I had an idea. Okay, so I thought this is going to look great. So I validated my idea. I checked around. I was like, okay, people are doing this. People like it. There was a little bit of research that went into this. I started to plan, how am I going to make this? What tools do I actually need? This is a goddess, believe it or not, with flowers. I did the design. Then I developed it by actually putting all the elements together. I launched it. And then I looked at it. But before I even launched it, I went, you know what? This isn't working. This is where your quality control comes in. This somehow I don't know why. This is not me. It's not working. So I did not go to launch with this product. I've not put this on Instagram or Facebook or any of the other things. If I did launch it, like I did with this one, that was also a new product. It's a new product. It's a resin sculpture. Okay, I'll be introducing, this was introduced at the Vancouver Home Show. I've got some very positive reviews on it, and now it's to take this and upscale it into art. And I'll explain why I'm going to make this art versus just another thing on the shelf. So you find your market fit, and this is a lot where it comes into, who's your customers, doing your customer profiles, who are your ideal customers, all those things that Jeanette's spoken about. That is finding your market fit. Where do you and your product fit into this market? As your product matures, it's how do you maintain that saturation? How do you maintain it, the visibility, you being drowned out? Think about how media works in social media. You get inundated every day, all day with different things, okay? How do you maintain visibility of that product as it goes through the mature phase and before it starts to decline? And that's where you start making decisions. Do you keep it? Do you relaunch it with different packaging? Or do you take it, it's the end. It's finished, it's done, we're moving on. So this is just a more technical slide on every phase and what is typical to expect in every phase of launching your product. As you start off, you're going to have low sales, low adoption. And then it's going to start picking up and you're going to start increasing your sales, your profits are going to be improved. Everything is a learning process. So you also tweak your pricing as you go through, as you start to get more feedback from the different customers, etc. You get more customers. Unfortunately, also here's where you start to get more competitors. And then you will end up in the maturity and decline phases. Now, for my business, my resin products might start at the introduction phase, but resin as a product of all the resin market is pretty saturated. And that is something that was confirmed for me once again at a market I attended over the weekend, that I need to start doing things differently, or I just get lost in the noise of everybody else that's doing coasters and key rings and all the other things. Hence why in December, I'm launching a new product, a completely new product at the 604. And it'll be something completely different, because this is exactly why. The resin itself is sort of at that maturity and starting to decline phase. What's prompted this process for me as a business owner was at the Vancouver Home Show, I had two of an artist's worst nightmares arrive at the exhibition. The one was an environmentalist. We all know resin is not exactly an environmental friendly product, which is why I focus on the art and not on trinkets as such. Small, I try and do the resin sculptures, meaningful art that people are more likely to keep. How do you get rid of your empty resin containers? And the other person was actually someone whose child had a very bad reaction to resin, because every single person, mostly even when I started watching, it's improved now, do not tell you about the hazards of dealing with resin. So everybody was rushing off, in particular in 2020 with the pandemic, everybody was rushing off and making resin stuff, and there are hazards. It's a class 2 irritant. It can literally, you can have a very bad, eczema, etc. And this is exactly what happened to this person. The other thing that confirmed for me where I'm going with my product lines was at the market, when I had every second person, oh, resin, oh, resin. I actually had someone stand in front of my table and go, oh, that's easy to make. And I sort of had a bit of luckily I'm wearing a mask, so I had a bit of a smirk, because I went, do tell me more about how easy this is to make. But it just revalidated that this is a maturing market, and we need to shake things up within the product lines, or I'm not going to capitalize on those sales at all. Think again of yourselves. Put yourself there. You're customer orientated, networking. Here we are, we're doing exactly that. The self-confidence, VTEAM has helped me grow immensely in self-confidence this year. You are all people of integrity, all of you. And I know this because I've interacted with you for a couple of months now. You have business skills. You wouldn't be in business for yourselves and running businesses if you didn't. You are innovative, launching, you're writing books, you're launching new courses, you're doing podcasts. You have excellent communication skills, and you have industry knowledge, etc. So these are everything that makes up that product management. This is why I say you're product managers without knowing that you're product managers, but you are, because you manage your products. So it really does apply to all. And this quote actually hit me because it's something, because I do art. It's something that I believe in. Only move forward with creating a product that will be above the bar. So don't put out something that I feel that is subpar. Don't do it. Only put stuff out there that is excellent quality and that can make a meaningful impact in people's lives. These are just thinking topics for you guys. So this is almost like a rhetorical, thing. You all have a product. A service is also a product. You do product management in scale of your business. Start thinking of yourselves as big corporates with many departments. You wear many hats in your business. I think we've all heard that. How are you managing your products now, or your services? How are you doing it now? Are you looking at it? Are you thinking about it? Are you analyzing how profitable your things are? And where in this life cycle of your products and your services are you? How flexible are you? And how quickly can you adapt to changing market conditions? Saturday validated for me something that I was thinking about already. I'd already ordered the product. I'm waiting for the product to arrive. So Saturday was just a confirmation for me that I need to be sharp. I need to quickly change the direction of my business. And while keeping the resin in the art, but not making small, keeping it very much to a very niche and exclusive line. Let's put it that way. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have around that. And that's it. Thank you very much for your time.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was just incredible. We do have time for one question of Lucia. One question of Lucia. Diane, please go ahead.
I don't know if it's really a question, but holy smokes, I never looked at art that way, the way that you described it. I mean, I have a lot of artist friends, but I've never seen it sort of in that business sense. So thank you for sharing that. That was really awesome.
Thank you very much. Ken Munro and Jeanette's Ken, he said to me, are you an artist or are you a business person? When I met him earlier this year. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you are a business person who is an artist. And I went, when everything just goes ping.
And I think that is a perfect place to leave this. I'm going to stop recording.